Okay, y'all, what is better? Online, in person? Really, it's not about better or worse. It's really about the design of the program. So let's get into it. So when we moved exclusively online in 2013, people freaked out. It's actually really cute. So we used to teach in a brick and mortar. Let's see if we can pull up some evidence here. There I am. I was crazy kid. So this was many years ago. And so we had a clinic in Toronto and we did our doula training in this space. But we had more and more folks writing to us saying like, you're the longest doula training out there. Like, how do I take this? So we moved exclusively online. Y'all, there was none of the things that we have now. So this was us doing our first teleseminar. So people like would call in. So instead of a webinar, because they didn't really exist then. And so we did it in our car because all of us had little children. So our houses were too loud. So here we are in the car doing our first teleseminar. But we spent a lot of years, like years and years, making the experience in the online feel like it did back when we had our brick and mortar like this. We didn't want it just to be like, this evergreen kind of like fumble along in the digital space. We wanted it to feel like this. And so, we spent a lot of time mastering how people could feel like touched, moved, and inspired in the digital space. So when we're thinking about online courses, there's a lot of benefits. People don't have to travel. You don't have to find childcare. It's great if you live with visible or invisible disabilities because, all those barriers are removed, assuming the online program caters to whatever accommodations you require. The location really becomes irrelevant because a lot of the times doula trainings are in, major centers. So anybody that lives outside those cities, they have to travel, and that can be expensive. That can actually just be completely prohibitive, especially if you have lots of little ones or little ones, period. And the great thing is now you can learn with folks all over the world. So our classes have students from, I think we're at 53 countries now. And so you're all in the room talking about birth of like what's happening in Japan, what's happening, in Latin America, what's happening in the US, what's happening in England. And you're all having this conversation, which I think is just really, really cool. But online trainings, I love them. I run an edutech company. I love learning online, but only if it includes, live lessons, interaction, feedback, community, because, both in-person and online trainings can fall flat if it's just like videos or people lecturing, especially now. So in the pandemic, okay, well, let me take it back. When we decided to move exclusively online in 2013, as you saw some of those pictures, people were like, oh my goodness, you cannot teach doula training online. Like, how's anybody going to know? I remember somebody wrote us an email and being like, how are you going to tell the stories? And I was like, what? The internet is a storytelling platform. So people were like banning us and they wouldn't let our alumni join associations. Like they were like, do not go to Babel Me. I can't believe they're teaching people how to be doulas online. Well, fast forward 7 years to the pandemic, we had mastered it. We had an incredible online community. And now people are like, oh, I guess we got to move online. And so there's a flood of online doula trainings, but a lot of the times it's watch these videos, write this exam. And so, again, like when you're exploring them, you have to look at, are they set up to teach in the digital space? Because educational research shows that learning outcomes, they really depend on, engagement and reflection and not so much about the physical location. So the real question is not where the training is happening. It's whether you feel really supported through your educational journey, beyond your educational journey, and through your work as a helper and healer, which is what you're all really drawn to. And so you do need to have time to integrate the information. You need to be able to talk to your teachers. We have a whole team of peer mentors that you can get on the phone or on a Zoom or whatever, or text or WhatsApp, whatever platform feels the best for you to communicate, that you can talk in real time. we always have any of our instructors, anybody on the team that you can get on a call with. And so that's really important as you're kind of like exploring your journeys. And then, you want to be able to integrate that learning, get out in the field, and then come back to, your training organization and be like, oh, I'm struggling with this, or I don't really know how to do this, or I ran into this problem. What do I do? Okay, so because not all doula trainings are created equal, I'm going to share in the next video the red flags to watch out before you enroll anywhere. Please do not miss this, and we will see you there. Ciao.